Day I'm hustling.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're into the Matrix. You are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today, we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Let me know in the comments down below. We got a banger today, guys. The perfect storm is what I'm calling this live stream. The perfect storm is brewing, ladies and gentlemen. So it seems we have absolute confirmation, because we've already taken out this base over here, that this is the spring. The spring is in. So what is the spring? We're just hopping right into it today. So the spring is what is a textbook bottom. And just because the bottom's in doesn't mean that it's rainbows and sunshines. But what it does mean is no one will be bullish until we're back above 100K. Retail will not be bullish until that time. Okay? Okay? That's what it means. So we have a perfect storm. The bottom's in for Bitcoin, while at the same time, the DXY has taken out a critical multi-year level of support. Multi-years. Since 2022, this has held. And the DXY has just taken this out. 3 years. I said 2 years. 3 years of support. The DXY has taken it out. Now, historically, we want the DXY to be falling in order for stocks and crypto to be rising. This generally trades absolutely inversely with cryptocurrency. So let's count them. So we got and this looks like distribution as well. So perfect storm ingredient number one is Bitcoin seems to have gotten, let's put this on here. Bitcoin seems to have gotten its spring confirmation. Now we could come back and get our test to 78K. Number two, perfect storm number two, the DXY has taken out the critical multi-year support and is now at 99. This is very, very interesting, to say the least. Matt says he's doing 5. Okay, so that's critical thing number 2. Can I do more? Can we go more? So we have the spring in at the same time. Everything everywhere all at one time. The spring for Bitcoin is in. The DXY is taking out multiple years of support, while at the same time gold is absolutely parabolic. This is not a meme coin. This isn't, gold does not just do this. And again, this trades inversely with crypto. This trades inversely with stocks. And you can't see it on my chart, but let's see if I can pull it up for you. Man. But what this is at the 2618. It's at the micro 3618 and the macro 2618, which is what I would consider to be parabolic and absolutely parabolic. So this is the macro. It's very much approaching the macro 2618. I said the other day, I'm selling 30% of my gold. I am not messing around. Part of that is because out of convenience, because I need to get my driveway paved, and that's going to cost me near $10,000. But part of it is because it's a good time to sell, because this might be peaking at the same time that the DXY might be falling off a cliff, at the same time that Bitcoin might be bottoming, at the same time. What else do we have happening everywhere all at one time? Everywhere, everything all at one time. Whoops. Hold on. So gold is at the 2618, while Bitcoin Dominance is working on textbook distribution. Buying climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, up thrust, goes higher than the buying climax. UTAD, it's higher than the body, but I believe this will most likely be higher than the wick by the time it's all said and done. Everywhere, everything, everywhere, all at one time. These are all happening at the same time. But wait, there's more. So Bitcoin is showing textbook bottoming structure of a spring, while at the same time that Bitcoin, the DXY has lost critical levels of support multi-year. We need this to go down in order for crypto and stocks to go up. While at the same time, gold is at a maximum parabolic level, very much approaching it. Not quite there, but very close. It's at the micro 3618. If I were to pull a Fibonacci from here, the micro 3618. All of these are happening all at the same time. At the same time, Bitcoin Dominance is working on what I believe to be textbook distribution. At the same time, can I get one more? Can I get one more? No, I cannot. That's it. All right, but I'll tell you what it is. We'll just swap out. We're gonna swap out the DXY, and we're gonna put in. Just know that the DXY has lost a critical level. Looks to be maybe, perhaps, working on distribution. At the same time, Ethereum Dominance is at a critical level of support. Everything, everywhere, all at the same time. The perfect storm is brewing. Now, this is a macro analysis. This does not mean rainbows and sunshines tomorrow. This does not mean you need to go to the store and pick out your Lamborghini tomorrow, but this means something is brewing. Okay? This means something is absolutely brewing. Daniel, thanks for becoming a member, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Make sure you guys are spam that like button, hit the share so other people can spam the like button. The perfect storm is brewing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, all right, let's go micro. So that's macro. Let's go micro. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Where are we at? So this is textbook the spring. And I told you guys we were going to get daily bodies at 85. Here we are. Daily bodies 85. All right. Now, I'm open-minded to, if you go on the 5 hour instead of the daily, that this was our textbook test after we got our textbook spring. Right here. This could be, you could classify this as your textbook test. And the fact that we're above all of this, which would have been resistance, perhaps. Okay, so I'm open-minded to the test already being in, which this is the test right here. You have your markdown, selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. Then your secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax. This is a bottoming structure, textbook, selling climax, your secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax, textbook. Move to the upside, creek down, big spring, take it all out, goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. Move to the upside, creek down, big spring down, takes out the secondary test in phase B. Now, textbook would say that you would go up a little bit and then get your test, which would be about 78K. Now, if we're viewing this on the 5 hour, you could say that that happened. On the daily, no. So I'm open-minded either way. Either way, I'm very bullish. I have nothing but longs in right now, basically. I have my limit orders at 78K. If the opportunity presents itself, I will be ready. I'm not necessarily predicting 78K, but that would be a textbook on the daily of a test. And then after the test, you would get your move to the upside, which would take out all of this, get your LPS, and your sign of strength. The sign of strength would be $95,000 to $100,000. And I got news for you guys. Retail will not be bullish for a second until we are already had a big move. You got to take into account 74K to 100K is a 25% move. That is, I mean, that is 3 years of murderous row stock market gains that would have already taken place for Bitcoin, retail will not be bullish until we get there. I promise you. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Retail is not going to be bullish until we have already done 2 years of stock market gains. Okay. What's the LPS? The LPS would probably be around 88K, somewhere in there. So that's a good point. If we were to pull back, move up, and then pull back to 88K, you could say that you would measure this on the 5 hour, and the test is already in. So that is micro. I am bullish on the medium term. I'm looking for opportunities. I have my limit longs already in, and this would just be adding to my position, which I'm already way up. I longed, I think my average price was 77K. I would just be adding to the position. It might be 78K. I don't remember what my average is actually, because I did get it a couple times. I'll show it to you. I put this out in the Telegram for Bitcoin. What are we up? So this is a 4x long. What do we got here? So my price is 78K. Okay. Whoops. My price is 78K. That's what I got. Let me just pull this up. I gotta be careful here. So there you go. 78K. That's my entry price. So if we get back to 78K, I'm gonna add to this position. But I'm already in it, though. I'm already in it. You know what I'm saying? I believe this is up even more, because this is a picture from 83K. It definitely is up more. I mean, we're at 84.6, so this is up even more than 28%. Again, 2-3 years of stock market gains. It's already done. So if the opportunity presents itself, I will be adding to that position. But I am bullish right now, with the caveat that I'm looking for opportunities. Okay, so that's the micro analysis. I'm very okay. So, and I'm gonna go to, let's shift gears a little bit to the total 3, which is what I'm gonna measure as the altcoins. And I do think, just told my boss how I really feel. Hey, Ski, you think the bull run will come this year? Yes. So I think we're by the end of May, we're going to have a move north of 100K for Bitcoin. And I think that the total 3 is going to do a move north of 50%, which it's already up a significant percentage from this right here. I mean, it's already up 15%. Again, that's 2 years of stock market gains, to put it in perspective. If we were to get a test, I do think, listen, I'm going to put this out right now. I think that Bitcoin is just a beat ahead of the, I think it's just a beat ahead of the total 3, but this potentially is your selling climax, or excuse me, your spring as well for the total 3. This is distribution, markdown, accumulation. Okay, and especially if we go on the 5-hour chart, look how red this was on the RSI. This is deep, and we're already starting to make higher low structures. So this potentially is your selling climax. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax, and then your spring. So this is maybe just a beat behind Bitcoin. Well, that's okay. That's how it's going to be. Bitcoin's going to go first. It's going to make some moves. And then the total 3, which is the altcoins, are going to make their move too. Bitcoin dominance is red hot right now. Red hot. If it's going to get a test, it would not be weird for a second, and look for opportunities. Look for opportunities. Not gonna be weird for a second to come back to 735 billion. We're talking a 4% correction, and we could even come back to the micro 236 here, which from current price, this would be textbook. This would still be a test. That's a 7% move. We know crypto does that all the time. That would be just fine. Nothing would be weird about that at all. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities throughout this week. I expect some volatility. I don't think just because the bottom is in, just because all this, the storm is brewing, let's bring it all full circle here. Just because the perfect storm is brewing, just because I believe the bottom for Bitcoin is in, strongly, I believe that the bottom for Bitcoin is in. I do not think we're taking out 74.4 for a long time. I think that there's a strong possibility for the total 3 that the bottom is in. I feel less confident about that than I do Bitcoin, but I feel very, very confident about that as well. Bitcoin dominance is at a critical level. Gold is at a critical level. The DXY is at a critical level. Ethereum dominance is at a critical level. All of these things are happening at the same time. That doesn't mean rockets and Lambos tomorrow. That doesn't mean go to your dealership and pick out your what color Lamborghini you're going to get. No. I expect chopping up. Boring, boring, boring until it's not. But what I'm saying is the stipulations have all been met. So summer not going to be boring? I think so. I do expect a pretty gnarly correction in August. But that would imply that we're going to have a big move to the upside before August. Because in order to have, this is the crazy, I'm going to say something that is very simple, but most people just don't think second and third level about this. In order to have a gnarly move to the upside, you have to have a gnarly move to the downside. In order to have a big crash, you need a big move to the upside. Okay? People think crash and then big crash. No. It's big move and then big crash. No. Dano, thank you for the jester and the W. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Y'all didn't know that I was bringing the heat today. And I'm sorry that we have to be on members only on TikTok, but I am live on YouTube. I'm tired of dealing with the nonsense on TikTok, so this is what it is. We might do in the future, we might do a public live, but only the members can comment. But for right now, I have had 0 issues since doing members only. So summer, oh yeah. How's Doge? We could take a look at Doge. Hey Ski, could you please run the numbers on AETHIR? Sure. Yeah, so listen guys, to wrap up in summary, I think that something big is definitely brewing, and I think a lot of people are going to be caught flat-footed, and I definitely think that most of retail is not going to flip until it's too late. I don't get why people would rather be on TikTok. There is way better experience. I agree. You like XSwap? No, not really, Jake. So not really a lot of data here. Let me see if I can find a better chart for you. ATHIR. Let's see if we can find a good chart on this one. Yeah, I don't love this chart, nor do I hate this chart. This chart doesn't really have a ton of data here. It's only from June of 24. So not even a year. It didn't have a huge parabolic rise. So there's really nothing to project. You could say that this looks like accumulation. But again, there's not a lot to project on this coin. 6 cents is a retracement. Parabolic would be 20 cents. So, I mean, I guess that's a 10x. Yeah. 6x, excuse me. Bad tokenomics. Happy with the 3x. Okay, if this has bad tokenomics, I take that back. You got to pay attention to the tokenomics for sure. And that was a mistake. I should have looked at the tokenomics on that first. Terrible tokenomics. Yeah, this is a no for me, bro. Not a lot of data, not even a lot of upside data, and only 20% is circulating. You're going to be fighting a lot of inflation. For me, this is a no. I think, yeah, I would agree with coffee. You'd be lucky to have a 3x on this one. I don't hate this chart, but I don't love it either. But you know, if you're fighting inflation, it could get worse for sure. Hi Jo, what's up, fam? Said, man, Alex videos depressed me. He said we are in a bear market. The bear market's where the best money is made, even if he's correct. That's where the money is made. Listen, I made way more money from 2022 till 2023 than I did any other time. This idea of like, see you in 4 years, people are talking out of both sides of their mouth. They will tell you with a straight face that it's different this time. The 4-year cycle is over. This is the worst bull market of all time. And also, see you in 4 years, get ready for the worst bear market of all time. You can't, like, which is it? Okay, if you want to argue with me that this is the worst bull market of all time, you want to argue that this is distribution here, you want to argue that the 4-year cycle is done, over with, okay, you know what? I'll listen. But what that means is, in all likelihood, we are deep in the bear market. This is accumulation. What that means for Bitcoin is like we're not going to have 10x's anymore, but we're not going to have 70% corrections either. We're not going to have wait for 4 years again. I mean, you think about Apple in 2009, Apple had a huge correction in 2009. And then after that, it didn't have these crazy moves anymore. So let's go on the weekly here. So massive correction in 2009 here. Long bear market. And then it just touches the 200 from there on. Like, okay. Like, I'll buy that for $1. If you want to tell me, like, 62% correction for a stock is massive. Like, I'll buy it for $1. If you want to tell me that this is the worst bull market of all time, you want to tell me that we're in the bear market, you want to tell me all these things, I'll buy it for $1. But what it means is you need to have a violent, you must have a violent bull market to get a violent bear market. You cannot talk. I will not allow people to talk out of both sides of their mouth. And I'm definitely not saying that Alex is doing that. But a lot of people are. You can't have your cake and eat it. It's one or the other. If you're going to tell me that the 4-year cycle is over, don't say like, I'll see you in 4 years. Okay. If it's over, that means it's over. If you're going to tell me that this is the worst bull market of all time, okay, that's fine. I'll buy that for $1. But don't say like, oh, well, get ready for the worst bear market of all time too. Nope. One or the other. HB, thanks for the goat, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Billionaires are made in the bear, 100%. How low do you think Bitcoin dominance will go? My projection is low 50s to high 40s. So I think we're going to get back to the 382 or the 236. Somewhere in this range is my target. That is what I think. Did you see what Mantra did? Fill the gap, and it sucks. Okay, that's interesting. If you're telling me that there was a gap on that, what is the ticker on that? And I don't know. Have they been dumping supply? What happened here? That's so crazy. You're right. Wow. Okay, so I don't hold any of this, and I didn't before this. But that's correct. Man. So that's a good analysis by El Duro. And what he's referring to is something that I teach about. Gaps get filled. Everyone wants a straight line up until you get straight line up. Everyone wants a straight line up until you get a straight line up. When you get a gap, it fills more times than it doesn't. 100,000% move to the upside in less than a year. Everyone wants that until you get it. So yeah, I would listen. Let me look at the tokenomics on this because I don't know what the inflation on this is. I don't know. It's a little bit. Maximum supply is infinity. It's a double, so yeah, like I don't think that this is gonna go parabolic or anything like that for sure. So there, I know that there's rumors that the team has been dumping this. I don't know what the market cap of this was yesterday, or the and they're saying that they are not, but I don't believe that. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, like who in the world has this much? Who is selling $500 million worth of a token that's not the team? I don't buy that for a second. More than 500 million. It went from 8 billion to 500 million. We're talking $7.5 billion. Like, which part of retail has $7.5 billion? I don't buy that for a second. That the team isn't selling this. I do not buy that for a second. That the team is not selling this. Team members sold 1 billion. Yeah, that sounds about right. The team holds 90%. Damn, that's crazy. That's insane. Gaps that big don't usually get filled in one day, though. That's correct, Matt. They don't happen in one day. Normally, it's a gruel. You are correct. Normally, the normal thing is that you like kind of gruel, you fight it, and then it takes it out. Like that's the normal thing. But my God, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be honest too. I wouldn't be surprised, and it looks like we're already having. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a dead cat bounce on this thing. Honestly. I tried to snipe a trade on this earlier. It's up 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if we fill the gap all the way into here to the upside. That's a risky trade. I did a very, very tight stop on that. Super low margin, super low leverage, and it stopped me. But that is a play. Even to the 382. 236 even is in the middle of the gap. That's a 4x. That's insane, guys. Man, that sucks. I'm sorry if anyone was holding that. That is definitely unfortunate. But if a team holds 90% of the supply, that you have to be mindful of that kind of thing. That isn't crazy, guys. Learned it from you, bro. What's up? Just joined the live. You missed a banger intro. I'd probably go back and watch the first 15 minutes because I was on a heater talking about the perfect storm. We can recap it a little bit. I watched your video about the Total 3 making a 50% move. What's the best outcome for VeChain? The best outcome would be 40 cents. But I think a realistic outcome would be 10 cents during that. If it's not peak euphoria. TG and website are down. Dang. Their Telegram is down. Yeah, that's not good, man. For sure. Yeah, I mean, sitting there being like, that's the crazy thing to sit here and be like, oh, the team wasn't selling. I mean, like, bro, come on. You can piss on me and tell me it's raining all you like. But retail does not own 80% of the supply. They just don't. When do you think Bitcoin dominance tops? What do you also think we see first? Alt season before blow off top, Q4? I do think we see an alt season before Q4, yes. And I do think that the blow off top will be before then too. I think Bitcoin dominance is working on the top right now. It's working on the UTAD in my opinion. We'll see where it lands, but it's working structurally on the last umph, if you will. So in my opinion, we already got that giant wick that we had like a few months ago was the upthrust to me on Bitcoin dominance. This is a structural top. And what we're working on right now is the UTAD. Maybe we're here, maybe we're here, maybe we're here. I don't know. But I think we're somewhere in this neck of the woods. It's the structural top. I'm not saying it's the hourly top or the daily top or the weekly top even. But the structural top is working itself in for Bitcoin dominance. So I don't think that this is going to be too much longer. Now, textbook, we would go higher. So I definitely see in the cards going to, 65.2% is in the cards. I find it interesting too that, 7 billion got wiped out from a coin and Bitcoin dominance is sideways. That is not everything, but that is something to be mindful of. Like, let's imagine for a second if, let's just say Omni did not get wiped out. Like, do we have a red candle today? I think you could definitely argue that. But it's a sideways candle. We've been at these same price targets, these same price levels for the past 8 days now. So to me, we're working on the structural top. We'll see where it actually lands for dominance. And I think we're working on the structural bottom for Ethereum dominance at the same time. This is what we talked about earlier in the live stream. The perfect storm is brewing. Bitcoin dominance is working on this structural top. Ethereum dominance is at a structural low. A multi-year low. While at the same time, the DXY has just broken out of a 2-year levels of support. It broke through it. I'm trying to get this back up here with my chart here. So this is a big deal. Make no mistake about it. Let's put Ethereum dominance right here. There we go. So Bitcoin dominance working on distribution at the same time. Ethereum dominance. Look where it's at. The lowest point it's ever been. This is insane. At the same time. At the same time, the DXY has broken through massive levels. Wicked through. Hasn't quite got the structural breakthrough. But definitely at a critical level. At the same time, gold is at a critical level. Micro 3618 is approaching. I mean, we're within 2% of that, I believe. 1.9% of the micro 3618 and 3.7% within the macro 2618. This is why I've sold, or I'm selling this week, 30% of my gold. Part of that is convenience. I talked about it a little bit. Part of that's because I need a driveway. But this is also, I believe, a really good time. The reason that I'm mentioning gold being parabolic, this typically trades inversely. You don't see gold make moves like this. That's not a real thing that happens, right? But this trades inversely with stocks, with crypto. Like, this is parabolic. You understand? Like, we were at $1,000. Like, this is just a straight line right now for gold. And I'm a holder of gold. I believe in gold. I buy silver and gold every single week. Every single week. Price target on LCX may ski. I think we could definitely retrace by then. So all this stuff is happening at the same time. XRP's chart looks good to me. Ethereum, I think, has found structural bottom as well. Everything, everywhere, all at one time. Shorted Uni at 5.5. Want to get out at 5.1. Could you see if that'd be a good move? I'm not shorting anything right now because I know how things move and I know that something is brewing. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. If you're trying to micro scalp, trades, like, sure, that's fine if you're in and out. But I'm not. Most of my trades I do for a more longer period. Like, I might be in a trade for a week or two. That's pretty standard for me. So I would not feel comfortable with a short. I mean, especially, like, you're at the bear market lows right now. There's a lot of support here. I don't know. I mean, it could definitely go to 5.1, but on a macro sense, like, you have 150 days, no, 150 weeks. Excuse me. Let's go to the daily here. You got a lot of support over here. I mean, you're talking 1,000 days, so could it go there? Sure. But this was already really low. I don't know. I don't know if I would be shorting right now, especially on stuff that has good tokenomics at their bear market lows with 1,000 days of support. I don't know. It's definitely on the table because it wicked to 4.8. But I mean, it's like from 5.4 to 5.1. What is the percentage there? Like, what leverage are you using? That's a 5% move. I don't know. To make that worth it, you would have to do an uncomfortable amount of leverage that I'm just not really comfortable with. But, I think a 5.1, you could get that, but it's still at a downtrend. It's still at a downtrend if you're doing micro, but I just do more macro analysis. So we'll see. I'm a little bit biased towards Uni, though, so there's that too. Don't go mantra on us with it. Nah, bro. My bag is sacrificial. I'm building something cool because I believe in it. Like, how many other coins have stood the test like Solnic has? As long as it has, making higher lows on a bigger time frame as long as it has. Like, bro, come on. You don't see coins years later still doing this. I think I own like 2% or something like that. I definitely don't own 90%. And my bag is public. Are you on the side where people say we won't see an alt season until ETH pumps? No, not necessarily. That's what history would tell us. But I think I'm not like married to like Ethereum must pump. I think Ethereum will pump because it's at the critical level on the ETH Dominance, 7%. And it's on top of a lot of support here. So I think it will pump at least to 3,300. But it doesn't need to go like parabolic in order to have an alt season. It could just get back to 3,000 would be perfectly fine. Same thing for Bitcoin, by the way. Bitcoin doesn't need to go to 207,000 to go to a parabolic level. It needs to get above 100,000. And that's plenty of rotational money to rotate into other things, which would cause Bitcoin dominance to fall. I just tagged you on X about 4-year cycle. Can you please check DOT and ADA? I'm in an ADA long right now. What's SOBA up to? You're saying SOBA? Can you show your AVT? Their Telegram is not down. I just checked. Wasn't down yesterday either. That's a good sign. I mean, like, I tried to take a stab. It's against my rules. Like, you don't want to catch a falling knife for Omni. But, you know, I do think that there's money to be had there. CAS can still go to 43 cents. Yes, and I do think CAS is bottomed. I don't think it's a, you know, a V bottom. Like I've talked about this. I don't think it's a V bottom. I think it's an accumulation bottom. But I do think that CASPA has bottomed. My target was 5.5 cents. I think if you can get it under 7 cents, that's an excellent price. Technically, really, if you can get it under 8 cents, that's an excellent price. But really, your cream of the crop, the cream rises to the top. Price is under 7 cents for CASPA. I think that this is bottom. This is a nice, healthy distribution, marked down. And at the very beginning of accumulation, this is basically what I anticipate. But minimum, you're looking at 15 cents. There's definitely money to be made there. But yeah, 40 something cents. Ski, what do you think about Telcoin? Do you think Trump is dumped today due to 20% unlock April? Yeah, you don't like coins that have lots of inflation. That's not a good thing. Trump is no longer a play for me, for sure. I don't want to fight inflation. And Tony, I would say the same thing about Filecoin. Like, I don't want to fight inflation. I'm looking for neutral, low, or even deflationary coins. I don't want super inflationary coins. For me personally, it just saves a lot of headache. It saves a lot of math. It keeps things simple. Simple is better. All right, let's check out Telcoin. Okay, good tokenomics on Telcoin. Okay, so that's a good start. I don't mind this chart on Telcoin either. Yeah, this has the exact same chart as VeChain. This has the same chart as XYO. This has the same chart as a lot of things that I'm looking at. Micro, it hasn't broke this downtrend just yet, but you could argue that this is probably the spring, especially if I go on the 5 hour. Let's see. Pretty low. I don't know if I'd classify this as the spring yet, actually. It's on top of this, but it could easily get into all of that. I want to see a higher high. Let's take out, 6.7 here. 0067. 6.7. Let's take that out. But I don't mind Telcoin. I think it's a decent play for sure. Macro, it looks beautiful. Micro, it might have a little bit more work to do. I mean, you're talking a 6.666666% return just to retrace. I said 6.6. 666% return just for a retracement. I would definitely de-risk at that point. That's 3.6 cents. Man, I would definitely de-risk there. I don't think Telcoin's a bad play at all. Micro, it might have a little bit more work to do, but macro, this chart looks damn good. Damn good. Did you see what I sent you on X? No, bro. I'm live. I'm not on X right now. I'll check later. Do you think that's a good play for this year? I would say so. It's below the 236. It has good tokenomics. It has a good looking chart. I don't mind this at all. And even just the retrace, you're talking a 5x. Like, I'll take that for sure. Craig, thanks for becoming a member, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Theta, please. I put a long in on Theta today. That's a tight. I might add to this a couple of times, depending on what we do. But yeah, we're at the bear market lows. This reminds me of Ethereum. It hasn't broken the downtrend just yet. Same thing. Like, I would say very similar from Telcoin to Theta. Macro, this chart is beautiful, and you're on top of a ton of support right now. I mean, you're talking 600 days. Can it get through there? Yes. What are the probabilities? I would say not much. And even if we pull a micro fib here, just from this November high to the swing low, you're talking $2 retracement. I have a long in on Theta right now. That's a 2x. Just micro retracement. Micro 1618 is a 6x. Like, I'll take that for sure. I'm definitely going to be de-risking at these positions, but I believe in this long term for sure. Short term, again, not quite. I'm just taking a stab at it. I do think that this is a probability of being your selling climax and your secondary test. So we'll see. But I have a long in right now. Can you check Sigma on Solana? What the Sigma? Is it on TradingView? Can you look at ACH, please? I added Theta today. I love Theta a lot more at spot than trading it, but I am trading it right now too. But spot, I think it's excellent. If you're buying spot, like literally as good as it gets. You know what I'm saying? I have a long on Theta though, right now. I opened that up this morning, I believe. ACH. Let's look up ACH. Okay, this looks like it has passed inflation, but it looks to be done. So 89%. So I would probably put this in the category of like H bar, past inflation, not present, not future, mostly done in the present and the future. So that's a good thing moving forward. Not necessarily a good thing for right this second. But let's take a look at the charts. Yeah, I don't mind the chart, though. I would say at least to the 382 is definitely on the table, even if there's a lot of inflation in the past. That's 9 cents to 12 cents. I would de-risk there. It's flirting with breaking out, too. That's a 3x. Let's get back above the 200 here. 2.5 cents. And then if we could take out, 3.2 cents, that would be great. I don't mind this chart. I think it's more likely to retrace 15 cents. But yeah, I don't mind this chart at all. You think silver will go parabolic like gold in the near future? I don't know about near future, right? In the future, yes. Near future. I don't know if I would say near future. Gold, like when you look at gold, when you look at silver, you have to understand, even this straight line up, we're talking from 2020. This is 3 years right here. Okay, this looks like a small amount of time. But this is not. This is 3 years. Just this little leg right here. You know, here's the full picture on gold. So yeah, can we, you know, can we do that? Sure. I definitely think silver is going. I definitely think that Bitcoin and gold are similar, and like silver is like the altcoins of metals. Yes. And I definitely think that silver is way behind, right? So it's on the macro 2618, call it. Look at silver. Silver is like not even retracing. So yeah, like definitely more upside for silver than gold in my opinion. Just in the micro though, I definitely have a target right here of $38 is my medium target, and my more longer term target is $63 as high as $72. That to me is parabolic for silver. You know, you're not talking, it's not like Bitcoin or something like that, or it's not like, you know, some crazy numbers, but we're talking 16% to my first target and a 1.2x to my last target. But that's basically what I did on my gold, and I was very happy with that. My average price on gold was $1,600. I think silver has a similar move, and beautiful looking chart, by the way. Like, what do I talk about constantly? Markdown. This is accumulation, selling climax, automatic reaction. Look at your spring. Come on now. The spring goes lower than the selling climax. This is textbook accumulation. Wyckoff works on every chart. It does not matter. Here it is again. So it's already gotten its sign of strength. It's already gotten its back test of the prior range. The next phase would be that. But, you know, this is from 2011 until present. So near future, especially people who are normally into crypto, this is not near future. This could take, you know, this could be 2029 when this plays out. You know what I'm saying? I do think that silver is still a value, where I don't think that gold, I mean, gold obviously is a value. It's always going to be a value, but you know what I mean? Like investment value, I don't think it's as good of a value. You don't think Bitcoin will go back to 78K? It's possible. I'm ready if it does. I'm not predicting that though. If that makes sense. Thoughts on VThor? Can you take a look? VThor had a pretty big day today. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, listen guys, I'm still stacking my silver for sure. Because listen, I'm happy with a 1x on my silver. I already did a 1x on my gold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the difference. So I'm going to rotate some of my gold into silver. And I'm going to have some dry powder on some of my gold. But I'm definitely going to be selling some of my gold. I thought I had a roll up here. I do. I was playing with this. So yeah, listen, I got silver. I stack silver like crazy. I think it's a better value than gold right now. But that's just me. You do whatever your rank can handle. That's what they said in the army. Do what your rank can handle. I'm selling my gold personally. I'm still accumulating silver. I'm not like accumulating it like it's going out of style, just my normal accumulation. But I definitely think that the best play right now is crypto. Me with my silver. It's so fun, Andrea. It's like holding silver in your hand. There is nothing like that. There is nothing that compares to that feeling. Listen, I hold real estate, I hold Bitcoin, I hold silver, gold, stocks, insurance. My favorite one to buy is silver, period. I'm just keeping a buck with you. All right, that's my favorite one. Let's check out VThor. VTHOR. Had a big day today, right? Solnik's my best play right now. Solnik is my number one 100x play, period. Man, this chart looks good, though. Got to be honest. So we're on the weekly here. This is a break. Okay. VThor. Man, oh man. This is a higher high. for sure here. I might be looking for opportunities on this on the back test here. And this could be a... Listen, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a fundamentalist, but this is tied with VeChain, no? The web? This is tied with VeChain, no? I like this a lot. This is accumulation, sign of strength, back test of the prior range, higher move. You've broken the downtrend officially. I'm trying to learn to swing trade VeChain and VThor, but I'm a newbie. Low leverage, super low. I'm talking 1x, 2x, and super low margin. So this could be a significant... I have a long on VeChain. This might honestly be a better value if they're together. What are we talking? Retracement is a 5x. Just for trading purposes, I might be looking for entries on this. I like this a lot, is what I'm saying. Micro and macro. Yeah, Solnick #1 play, period. Period. We have a live stream with Mario later on Friday. And also, we are making serious headway on the... yeah, this is a beautiful looking chart. At the 236 again. Back test of the prior range on top of a lot of support here. People don't want to buy boring, but boring is the best opportunity. Oh. People don't want to buy boring, but boring is the best opportunity. Period. When staking. Very soon. I just had a meeting with the Solidity dev today. So he's making good progress on that. I don't want to put out a date because... Listen, development, it's like projecting when your plumbing is going to be finished. You think VThor can reach 5 cents? Did I have this on here? Can VThor reach 5 cents? Possible. So that's the 1618. That's possible. I would certainly de-risk at the retracement, which would be 1.5 to 1.8 cents. What is our 2025 price unique target? Again, same thing. I would de-risk on the retracement. Even the micro is 13. That's a micro retracement. That's a 1.5x. The macro retracement is also the micro 1618. That's a 5x. I would de-risk here, $28. But I think it could get north of $66, especially like how beaten down Ethereum is. You know, Uni is relatively compared to Ethereum, it's held up pretty well. Can you talk about indicators that would tell no alt season this year? If, like, it would have to be something drastic. It would have to be like Ethereum continues to make lows. Ethereum dominance continues to go beyond where it's at right now. Bitcoin dominance continues to go like to 70 or something like that. Okay, I'm going to say, like, I'll draw a line in the sand for you. This doesn't mean no alt season, but we have some time. If Bitcoin comes down, Bitcoin dominance, comes down, let's say to 62%, and then goes on to like 67%, like, we got some time. I don't think that that's going to happen, though. One bear. What? 2 bears. 3 bears. 4 bears. What? All right, we're gonna check out Sigma, and then my son has some baseball. So I gotta get ready for that. Man, not really enough chart data on this. Let me see. That's cracking. What is Sigma? Is Sigma a meme? This looks like accumulation, but there's not a ton of data on this. I'm not excited about brand new coins. I'm just not. I'll give you a retracement though. 5 cents. Can it go to 80? No, it's not going to 80 cents anyway. Any way you slice it, no, it's not going to 80 cents. If it's just face melting parabolic, it's 30 cents. But I would de-risk at like 5 cents, personally. Yeah, it's not going to 80 cents. I would be shocked. Shocked. There's no Fibonacci that puts you at 80 cents. No. Not even a crazy one. Just gonna drop a transmission out my car and split the bearings tonight. Let's go. I got my clutch, by the way, on my that came in the mail. The clutch came in for my tractor, so I'm gonna be working on that pretty soon. Brett, all right, we'll do Brett, and then I gotta go. There's a space tomorrow, but with Mario. The space is on Friday. There should be a space on Wednesday. That's just the Sonic space. And then Mario's space is Friday at 4:30 Eastern time, 3:30 Central. Okay, if you want to tell me that this is working on a bottom structure, it could make a spring lower. I think that this is probably working on a bottom structure. 15 cents is a retracement. I would de-risk there. That's a 4x. The next leg could take you to 36 cents. I don't hate this chart. I don't love it either. If it makes a higher high, if it takes this out right here, 4.1 cents, we might be talking. We might be cooking. But right now, it's okay. Mid. That's my personal opinions. I would love to be face meltingly wrong, though, as always. Of course. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I will never, never, ever message you first. Those are scammers. Do not redeem. For the love of God, do not redeem. What's the schedule? All right, here's the schedule. Tomorrow we'll be live 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday, there's a Sonic AMA on Twitter only, 5 to 6 p.m. Then I will be live 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Thursday, I will be live 5 to 7 Central Time. Friday, 9 to 10:30 a.m. with Alex. And then 3:30, 4:30 with Mario. Saturday, 4 to 5:30. And then Resurrection Sunday, I will be off. All right. So that is going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless. I'm out.
Damn hustling.